At Arizona State University, we've made online education better, smarter, and more personalized so you can go further in your aspiring field.
I decided to pursue medicine once I realized that ASU did have the online program for biological sciences. You're still required to learn the same curriculum. You're still being tested on the same content that anyone would be tested on in person. The comprehensiveness of the program prepared me so well for medical school.
Explore over 300 programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Welcome in. We are live in downtown Las Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. This show is brought to you by DraftKings. Loaded today. A lot of NFL. We'll get into what the playoff picture will look like. Paulie has the schedule of the games next year in college football, and a lot of NBA today on the show as well, including Julian Edlow from DraftKings coming up in 30 minutes to take a peek at tonight's big card. We'll begin today in the National Football League, Paulie, because these numbers, as expected here in Week 18, are going to be on the move for most of the week. Now, you bet, again, Pittsburgh 3.5 early on in the week right away when it came out. It's still holding steady at 3.5. We had a guest on, Glenn Clark, who covers the Ravens of Baltimore. Yesterday, we were running down the possibilities of the starters actually going. If so, how long would it be? Still no real, rock solid, my word is strong as oak from John Harbaugh here, talking about what they're going to do with their starters. Are you getting concerned that they actually might go with their guys longer than anticipated?
Yeah, well, it's what Glenn Clark said yesterday about Lamar felt rusty the last time they were in this situation against Tennessee, and you'd have 19 days off if he doesn't play. So even if you want to get him out there for a half, which I guess is the same conundrum that Shanahan would face, and some guys are led to believe that they will play against the Rams with the San Francisco angle, but that's if I'm Harbaugh and if I'm Shanahan, I play these guys at least a half, and especially from the Baltimore angle because you're cooking. I mean, you're unbelievable here how you're closing the year. So I want to keep out there and keep that rhythm, and I don't want to be rusty when I have my first playoff game when I'm coming off the bye.
You want the beat to go on.
That's right.
Right?
Yes, that's how I would do it if I was running the organization. But it's to each his own. I remember what happened years ago with Elway and the Broncos. They were so good and lost to Mark Brunell and the Jaguars. But each team's different. Each organization is different. But then again, I wouldn't be surprised if they play the backups and still win the game and shock the world because how good he's been in the preseason and whether it's Huntley or Josh Johnson.
I'll give you another one. Remember the Packers the year after they won the Super Bowl? They started 13-0. They went to KC. The Chiefs were terrible that year. Packers were huge favorites. They lost their first game. They cruised to the 1 seed. They sat guys in the final week. That's when Matt Flynn got his $27 million contract or whatever it was, and he threw for almost 500 yards and a ton of touchdowns in a win. And the starters took off that week, the final week of the regular season. They had the bye week, and then they came back against the Giants, and they took on Eli Manning, Odell Beckham. Actually, that was a little bit before Beckham, and the game was over with at halftime. Giants, they completed the Hail Mary at halftime in Lambeau Field, and the game was done. 30 minutes into the game, Packers as the 1 seed, 15-1, not moving on in the playoffs.
Right. That's where we had that unbelievable streak where a team off the bye was losing.
Absolutely.
And going down big time. So it's other angle is coaches can change their mind.
Yes, they can.
And I have no problem with that. But what you say Monday and Tuesday may not stick once you talk to the captains and guys in the organization and the vets once you get to Friday or Saturday. And you saw Minnesota money yesterday. Lions are down to 3. And I can't wait to talk to Ben Raven, Dungeon of Doom. Love the name. Lions guy coming up. But whether Campbell changes his mind or maybe it's anti-Detroit stuff, but still something on the line for the Lions, but maybe only plays guys a half against the Vikings. So
yeah, I'm really curious about why we had Vikings money yesterday. Normally the market's going to be ahead of this stuff, right? They're going to know the news before it's actually out there in the mainstream. But when Campbell came out and said, I'm high octane, I have controlled fury, we're playing all of our guys, and yet the market goes against that team. Is it based on what happened when they actually played a couple of weeks ago and the Vikings had 4 turnovers and did whatever they wanted offensively and probably should have won the game?
That did get to 6 at one point.
Yeah.
Now back down to 3. Sure.
That's right.
I don't know. Houston now the favorite in the Saturday night game. Winning in. That's a great game Saturday night.
I agree with the move.
That's Buck and Aikman. You do? Okay.
I do. Yep. I like the Texans in this game. And by the way, this one is like nobody sitting anybody, obviously. Mm-hmm. All hands on deck. Both teams have to have the game. So this is not based on real information. This is just based on, I think, money, people backing it up with their opinions, saying the Texans are a better team. They shouldn't be the dog in this spot. They should be favored on the road against the Colts, and they are right now.
Okay.
Now, another game that you bet. Bengals are up to 6 against Cleveland.
Yep.
Neither team has anything to play for. Bengals, why would Jamar Chase play here? He was recently hurt. Right? Does he get out there on the field at all today?
Yeah, but you're still going to play the other guys. I mean, I would think that's right. Cleveland's playing no one.
No, they're going to play
you're
nobody.
Talking about a lousy quarterback in Walker, and then still Cincinnati's got to. I think Cincinnati could win and blow them out.
So you think it's one of those things where the guys who are playing in the game for the full 60 minutes for the Bengals want to have some fun and on a high note?
Yes.
Yeah.
Go out with a win. What the Browns are trying to do is just get out of there fast as possible and get no one gets hurt.
Oh, they want to fast forward to the wild card round is what they want.
Yeah, I mean, they don't care what the score. They don't care if they lose 30-0. So that's up to 6, and I bet Cincinnati right away when that came out as well, because based on what Stefanski said. There's a couple I don't understand. Number one, why are the Chargers up to 3? I don't care if the Chiefs play nobody and it's Blaine Gabbert. Have you watched the Chargers here? I mean, they couldn't do anything against Denver last week. And Allen's hurt. Eckler continues to fumble. Stick's been awful.
Yeah.
I can't believe that line, too. So
I'll give you, this is only narrative-based, right? What we just said about the Bengals. This team was recently in the Super Bowl. They have a really good roster when healthy. Zach Taylor, I could actually see him, telling the players, like, look, let's go out there and have some fun, score a bunch of points. We'll make it look good. We'll end the season on a high note, right? We're going to be like Jerry Seinfeld. All right, that's it for me. It's the exact opposite from a narrative standpoint with the Chargers. This team, since the Raiders game, and they had their one good effort after Staley got fired, but when they laid down against the Raiders, what do they have to play for? Do you see pride oozing out of this team and their players? This team is just like, to me anyway, it's 1, 2, 3 Cancun. Let's get the season over with. We could not possibly care about playing in this final game, and we need to get our new coach and get on to 2024. All strictly narrative, again, but that's, they're up to 3 in this game, and it's an assumption here that because of the Chiefs' backups that they have no shot to be competitive in this game.
Yeah, it's right. But and then with the Cincinnati angle too, you could get above 500, you could finish 9-8, and you haven't won a game in the division all year too. So how about that? 9-8 in the last place. What a division! Nuts.
If Burrow's healthy the whole time,
you never know.
Yeah,
that's right. That's right.
And a couple of other ones here. The Niners are now sitting as a 4-point favorite against the Rams. Well, we already know that McCaffrey's not going to go. Again, this could be similar, though, for the other players here to Baltimore. Does Shanahan really want to give his players essentially 3 weeks off before they play in another game? So will he play most of his starters for like a quarter, 2 quarters, maybe, a little bit into the second half? On the flip side, the Rams and McVay, the way that he has treated preseason games, basically the entire time here with the Rams, he doesn't play anybody in the preseason. But that team can also, with a win here, lock in the 6th seed. If they get a couple things to go their way, win the game, they're the 6th seed. They would be playing at Detroit and Jared Goff compared to going on the road to take on the Cowboys and an offense that just went up and down the field on them when they played in the regular season.
Yeah, I just think that's a much better matchup for them. I know it was a long time ago, but they went to Dallas and got killed. So to me, I want the 6, and I want to take on Detroit.
So do I.
Now, also, you would have to be in the locker room and be on the organization to know how much they're hurting and how much a week of rest would help and benefit them as well. But then again, you could play guys, risk injury, and you still lose to the 49ers. But to me, if it's I would play guys if I'm McVay and try to get the 6th seed. So there's so much craziness going on here. Weather, who can get in, who can get out. How about Atlanta? Atlanta could be the 4th seed or have the 8th pick in the draft. How about that? And the one that continues to amaze me is Buffalo. Buffalo is the 3rd best odds to win the Super Bowl. There's a good chance they don't even make the playoffs. Yeah. This is madness. If they win, they're the 2. If they lose and Jacksonville and Pittsburgh win, they don't even make the playoffs. And they have the 3rd best odds to win the Super Bowl. This is nuts. The other one, too, with Atlanta, it's absolutely hilarious. They lost at home to Washington, got beat by Arizona and Carolina. What a joke. But for me, the AFC matchups that I want to see, Houston at Buffalo, Miami at Kansas City, Cleveland at Jacksonville. You can't go wrong there. Those are great matchups.
No, those are really good.
They're all intriguing. And then NFC, give me Green Bay, Dallas, Rams, Detroit, and then Tampa.
And Philly?
Tampa, Philly, right. Or Saints, whoever. Saints, Philly, whatever it may be. I'm fine with that. I think those are all intriguing matchups and good games for Wild Card Weekend.
For an individual playoff game, I really wanted Green Bay, Philadelphia. I think that would have been a great game. A lot of fun. Another game here, too, is Seattle's down to 2.5. I missed this one. We talked about this on Monday. Wanted to see where this one was going to go.
Enormous. Both win totals on the line, too.
I asked you flat out on the air. I'm like, what do you want? What should I do here? I have the Seahawks win total over 8.5. They have this one to go over, but I don't trust them for 2 seconds in this game. Do I take the points? Do I take the money line? We said, yeah, take the points plus 3.5 and try to win both bets. I never bet plus 3.5. Now, Seahawks down to 2.5. Money coming in all week long here on the Cardinals.
Yep. That's
a pisser.
I know. And just how bad Seattle's defense was, especially what happened last week. Just can't get the stops from Rudolph. I am strong on one game. I don't see how Dallas doesn't obliterate Washington. Washington loses, they lock in the 2 seed. The two overall pick. The second pick.
Yep.
Right. Rivalry or not, just get that. Rivera's gone, clean house, disaster. You're going to take a quarterback. Howell was dreadful.
Yep.
I mean, Dallas should just punish them and do whatever. We know they're going to move the ball, do whatever they want. But this is just...
Yeah, again, Paul, you think these players are going to show up, and do they really care about a lame duck coach at this point?
They hung in there for a half, but that was more San Francisco issues in the red zone with the first half.
And they made it look good.
Yes.
You know what? That could have been the Chargers against the Bills. Played well for the game. Okay, now the season's over with.
Yeah.
And I know it's a division rival here, like you said, but they're so bad it might not matter at all. All right, let's follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Paulie will recap some of last night's betting action with win some, lose some, including the biggest upset of the season happening last night. Details on that next. Follow the money, VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Welcome in. It is Follow the Money, and we are live in downtown Las Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. This show is brought to you by DraftKings, and Wednesdays at this time, it is time to speak to Vito's son. Sal Paolantonio joins the program. Happy New Year, sir. How are you?
Oh, happy 2024. I'm doing great. How's my two favorite boys in Vegas doing?
Doing well. Better than the Eagles. Is this rock bottom, or can they drop even deeper into the abyss?
Well, they have a lot of things to fix. They do. It's clear they have major problems offensively and defensively. I think their major problem offensively is they're ignoring A.J. Brown.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Eagles ran 26 plays after halftime against the Cardinals, and only one of them was an A.J. Brown target. And that was an 18-yard gain, their longest play of the half. A.J. Brown should be upset. He's one of the top 5 receivers in the National Football League. And so it's a couple of things. One, they're doing a bad job, I think. Bad job. I just said it. Bad job of getting A.J. Brown into the right situations. He should be the underneath receiver. He should be the one running the shallow crosses. He can beat the one-on-one coverage. He led the league in yards after the catch when he was in Tennessee. This guy should be the guy running the underneath routes. He's strong. He's tough. He's physical. He's got great hands. Devontae Smith should be the one running the clear-out routes, the 9 routes, occupying the safeties. They got it all mixed up. And until they get that fixed, their offense is not going to be anywhere near as good as it was last year.
Yeah, well said. Where's Devontae at in terms of health?
You know, I think that's a major point of concern for them because they are already in the playoffs, and they are going to need a healthy Devontae Smith in the wild card round. So that's why I think you're seeing some reverse line movement. You know, what do they do with Devontae Smith? Well, if I'm Nick Sirianni, do I risk further injury or do I risk anything with Devontae Smith? I keep him out of the game and I play him in the wild card round.
Assuming that happens, Cowboys win the division by beating Washington this weekend, and Philly has to go to the winner of the NFC South. Where is your level of confidence at today, thinking that Philly can go there and win?
I don't think they can go either place and win. I don't think they can beat the Saints. Saints would be the other winner besides the Bucs. I've seen the Bucs be up and down, but when they're up, they're very good. When they're down, they're bad. I understand that. Losing to New Orleans was a regression for them. But I've seen when they're up, and I think that was a course correction of a loss to New Orleans, and I would have I'd have very little confidence they could beat the Bucs, and I would not have much confidence at all that they could beat the Saints in New Orleans. I've seen that movie before.
Yep.
Listen, that New Orleans Saints defense is very good. They really get after the passer like they did against the Bucs. The Bucs are vulnerable to a pass rush. We've talked about that all year long. You know, even in the game against Green Bay, where Baker Mayfield had the perfect passer rating, the only quarterback in history to have a perfect passer rating as a visitor at Lambeau Field, he still was sacked 5 times in that game, guys.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right. I don't think they're going to go to New Orleans. I think Derek Carr can actually play pretty well against this defense. Sal, a defense that's been so bad. Jalen Carter, the rookie that slid in the draft, they came up and got him. He was recently minus 20,000 to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. Well, he's not even playing 50% of the snaps. The defense has been lousy, and now Will Anderson might steal that award, and Kobe Turner is down to plus 575 for the Rams at one book here in Las Vegas. He's going to miss out. He's not going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year.
And he shouldn't. He's not playing the number of snaps. He's playing half the number of snaps of Fletcher Cox, who's 2,000 years old. Well, thank God for Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham. Last week against Arizona, Matt Patricia used Brandon Graham as a defensive tackle on the inside because Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter can't stay on the field. Now, why can't they stay on the field? Well, it's evident to me that they're pretty good on first down, but then they're gassed by third down.
Wild. Great stuff. Mm-hmm. Your company has a great doubleheader Saturday. And I know you've been reporting. We saw you last couple of days on ESPN, and you've been around the Ravens. How about the first game? Pittsburgh's laying 3.5 against the Ravens. How do you think, and how should Harbaugh treat this game?
I think it'll be a mix. John Harbaugh has said in the last couple of days that they learned a lot from what happened in 2019 when he rested everybody and they came out flat against Tennessee and they lost in the divisional round to the Tennessee Titans, who then went on to lose to Kansas City, and Kansas City went on to the Super Bowl. I was there that day.
Okay.
Lamar Jackson was the MVP. They lost because Derrick Henry ran up and down the field on the Baltimore Ravens. Now, this Ravens team has learned a lot. They are certainly, I think, a better team than that Ravens team in 2019. They're as good as, in my view, the Ravens team that won the Super Bowl with Joe Flacco and Ray Lewis's last ride. They're as good as that team. They've got players up and down the line. But I think that Harbaugh learned from that experience in 2019 that he has to be a little bit smarter and less of a guy who's just stringently looking at it. I'm going to not play these guys the whole game, and I'm going to play these guys somewhat. I think he's got to keep Lamar Jackson fresh a little bit, but I think he's also looked at what happened last week on his own field in garbage time. Mike McDaniel left Bradley Chubb on the field in garbage time, and he suffered a non-contact knee injury, and he's out for the rest of the season. So he's got a big decision to make. That's why I look at the Steelers and I'll see this. They have been the number one rushing team in the NFL in the last 2 weeks. And that's the reason why Mason Rudolph has played better than Kenny Pickett, in my view.
Yeah, great point.
And they already beat the Ravens in Pittsburgh this year. So I like the Pittsburgh Steelers in this game.
Okay, there's a prop bet here at Circa. Do you want the 49ers and the Ravens against the field? Do you want the 49ers Ravens, or do you want the field? Who wins the Super Bowl?
I want 49ers Ravens. I just look at both of those teams, guys, and I realize San Francisco lost to Baltimore, but San Francisco has boat raced everybody else. I don't see anybody going into San Francisco in the NFC. Dallas, certainly not Philadelphia. Who else? Who else is going into San Francisco and in the NFC Championship game?
Well, let me ask you, what do you think about the team they're playing this week? Where are you at with the Rams?
Could, maybe, perhaps, okay, but it's a bank shot. It's a bank shot. No pun intended.
Yeah. Okay.
And as for Baltimore, I think Harbaugh's learned a lot. I did a one-on-one interview for SportsCenter after the game on Sunday with Lamar Jackson. I've covered him his entire young career. He's only 26, which is unbelievable. If he wins the second MVP and he wins the Super Bowl this year, he's going to the Hall of Fame already.
True.
You know, he's a different guy. He's got his money. He understands what went wrong in 2019. Remember, guys, he's missed a lot of games in December and January in the last 2 years. He's healthy now, and he realizes what he has around him. And Todd Monken, the offensive coordinator, is on the same page with his young quarterback. They talk a lot. This is so important, so much different from the previous offensive coordinator. Todd Monken, who just came right out of college, understands young players. He talks to Lamar Jackson. Do you like this? No. Do you like this? Yeah. All right, we're going to run this play. So there is a synthesis that did not exist before. Lamar's more mature. Todd Monken understands what his young quarterback needs. I don't see anybody right now going in and beating the Ravens with the exception of one team. One team. You ready?
Cleveland.
Kansas City.
Correct.
Cleveland.
Correct. Cleveland is the correct answer.
Oh, wow. Unbelievable. So I want to ask you, and it's Wednesdays with Vito's son here, Sal Paolantonio, ESPN, VSiN, Follow the Money. Comeback player of the year. It's a tough one. Hamlin's a short favorite. He's made, 2-3 tackles on the season, only played a couple games. And then Flacco off the couch. Who's everyone you talk to, you're a connected guy. Who should win comeback player of the year?
Joe Flacco, 100%. I thought Baker Mayfield had a shot, a good shot, but he just dump trucked himself against New Orleans. So, and I love Baker Mayfield, absolutely loved him. I love him. But that was a bad loss. So I'm giving it to Joe Flacco. Listen, you're walking the dog on Thanksgiving Day. I know. I've known Joe Flacco and his family since Joe was 12 years old.
Wow.
As I told you, we raised our daughters in the neighboring town in South Jersey. I've known him since I saw him play in middle school. I've known his family forever. Great salt-of-the-earth people. Just wants to go out there and do his job. As you saw after the game, when they beat the Jets, all the Jets players coming up to him, congratulating him. Players love Joe Flacco. But there's another part of the equation, gentlemen, that we've talked about since September. Jim Schwartz and that defense.
Yeah.
Look at what Jim Schwartz and that defense is doing in pass defense. The game is all about, can your quarterback hold on to the ball? Is he turning the ball over? Is your defensive coordinator good in pass defense?
Sal Pal, that was an A-plus appearance.
Yes.
Thanks as always. We appreciate the time. Happy New Year.
Oh, it's always great to talk to you guys. Talk to you next week.
You got it.
Sounds good.
Playoffs.
Wednesdays with Vito's son, Sal Paolantonio. But that was awesome.
Cleveland.
I didn't know where he was going to go. It was one of my two guesses, Cleveland or Kansas City. I thought he was going to shock the world and say KC.
All right, great New Year's gift. Perfect holiday gift for you and New Year's gift. Sign up today. Get unlimited access to the daily best bets, exclusive betting splits, premium analysis, 24/7 video, every betting guide as well. March Madness a couple months away. Limited time offer, VSiN.com/subscribe. VSiN.com/subscribe. Here we go.
It's time to play everyone's favorite Follow the Money game. Live from the VSiN studios.
Hey guys, you ready to let the dogs out?
This is door number 1.
New high score! What does high score mean? New high score, is that bad? What's that mean? Should I break it?
Or door number 2.
Get nothing! You lose! Good day, sir!
Here's Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard.
Paulie, here we go. Door number 1. Would you rather bet Michigan minus 4.5 against Washington for the Natty, or door number 2? Let's project ahead in the wild card round NFL playoffs. We changed it up a little bit. Lions minus 4.5 or 5 at home to the Rams.
Boy, that's tough. Man, in the last 2 years, Washington's been under a dog 5 times. They've won all 5. Washington has played 9 ranked opponents. The last 9, they've beaten all 9 of them. So this is... Oh, boy. And I think it's a bad matchup for the Lions, too. I mean, I would love the Rams in that game.
Catching 5?
Yeah.
So then tells me you'd rather bet Michigan
Yeah.
against Washington.
Yeah. I'm still maybe they're just too physical. That's possible. But
let's
certainly
flip it then.
Washington's got the best offensive line. But I just saw what they did to Milroe and the 6 sacks and
Sure.
the 10 tackles. But it's like you're not even Milroe and Penix aren't playing the same sport. So that's tough.
I'll flip it then. Which dog would you rather have? Washington plus the 4.5 or the Rams plus 4.5 or 5 against the Lions?
Okay, I'll take the Rams.
Think the Rams.
It's a hard one though. That's a tough one.
All right. Door number 1, Puka Nacua, around plus 450 to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. Or door number 2, Victor Wembanyama, now plus 160-ish to win Rookie of the Year in the NBA.
Well, Saturday's enormous because if Stroud wins this game, they're in the playoffs. But again, what Puka's done, and as a missing time, he's a big reason why the Rams are the 6th seed in the year he's put up and breaking records. I can't see, unless Chet gets hurt, I can't see him giving it to Wembanyama. And how about the year Jaquez is having with the Miami Heat?
It's awesome.
He is awesome. I saw the special on him on NBA TV and when they drafted him, and boy, can they evaluate talent
No
in that
kidding.
organization. I got to go door 1.
Okay.
Absolutely,
Puka.
door 1 with Puka.
All right. Door number 1, we threw this out to Sal Pal. Ravens or Niners to win the Super Bowl at minus 115, or door number 2, the field at minus 115.
I want to hear what you say because I have 2 future tickets for $30,000, $27,000, and $30,000 on Baltimore and San Francisco. So
I've gotten scorched with this before. Jimmy Vaccaro made a prop for me years ago. I had my Super 7 against the field. The field won. I lost a bet to the mayor here in town. What a debacle that was. He'll never let me hear the end of it. Anyway, so it looks too easy with me, Ravens and 49ers, so I'd go the field.
would you?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't love it.
Yeah. I guess it's your. We saw what happened in 2019, and we saw what Purdy looked like on Monday Night Football. Could a Purdy implosion happen? But
Yep.
That's a great prop, though. $1.15 here at Circa.
Door number 1, Kevin Stefanski, minus 1,000 to win Coach of the Year, or door number 2, the field.
Absolutely door number 2.
Oh!
Yes.
Whoa!
Yes. Because of this game Saturday. No matter what happens, someone's in the playoffs, Steichen or Ryans. And I know it's only one guy, as you said, but Detillier has a vote, and he was on last week, and he says, I don't care if they don't even go to the playoffs, I'm taking Ryans. How bad Houston and that organization have been. So I think it's a little high. And I will go back to about 11 months ago. With a month left in the season, Sirianni was a $4 favorite. He wasn't even a finalist.
Yeah.
I think Stefanski's going to get it, but it's too high. I'd have to take the field.
Yeah, I think there's a good chance that what you just said can absolutely happen. Ryans or Steichen can still steal this thing.
Okay. To the other, in the other angle, we have asked every guest for 2-3 weeks. Not one person has said Hamlin's comeback player of the year. Every person has said Flacco.
But he remains the favorite.
But it's small, though. I know.
No?
Small.
Are you,
But I know, but it's...
Are you adding Flacco?
Yeah. Keep betting him.
Okay.
I don't have the 250, the 100 to 1. That I don't have that.
Well, hey, I got
But I
20
got-
bucks on that. That's what I was allowed to get down. It's fun, huh?
Yeah, unbelievable. Sure.
Door number 1, free tickets to the Super Bowl. Or door number 2, free tickets to all 4 games at an unnamed location for the first round during March Madness.
Well, do I have to go to the game?
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
I have to go to the game.
You have to go to the Super Bowl, or you have to go to all 4 games March Madness.
Okay. I was going to say I want C. I want door 3. I want Sportsbook in Las Vegas. Or I was going to hang with Brian Musburger. I take the Super Bowl tickets and sell them. And
No,
go
you got to go.
Okay.
This is an easy one
Yeah,
for me.
door 2.
Oh, no.
Door 2.
No.
Why?
That's
what do you
the
mean
wrong
no?
door.
Why?
I'm going door 1 because you can have all your bets in place. By the way, the Super Bowl's out here. You can still make bets live if you want to see it live. If you go to all 4 days of the first round, that means you're going to miss the other, what do we have, 12 games going on that day?
When's the last time you went to an NFL game?
I went to one last year on a Sunday. I went to Ravens. I went to Raiders 49ers.
It is alarming. Now, I know things have changed now with your phone and everything. It is alarming how much downtime there is during the NFL game.
Oh, I hate going to
person.
NFL games live. I can't. It's the worst sport to go to live.
Because you don't notice while you're watching, but all the commercial breaks and the downtime about, okay, we're in a TV timeout now, and the guys are just standing around playing grab ass in the huddle.
Yeah. I mean, trust me, I'd rather watch the Super Bowl at my house as well, but I don't want to miss the entire day of March Madness. I can't do that.
You're right. All right, I saw your tweet while you were off with the holidays. That's a good one.
Okay.
Door 1. Can you believe this?
No,
Coming
I
on HBO later this year, The Jinx Season 2. It's a top 5 documentary. Unbelievable. It was happening in real time, and before the season finale, Durst was arrested because of the show. Door 1, The Jinx Season 2. Door 2, Severance Season 2.
Well, see, this is where I would go door 3. I would say The Boys on Amazon Prime Season 4, but that's not an option. I'm only 2 episodes into Severance, so I'm taking my time.
Oh, that's all it is?
Charge said, take your time. I'm taking my time.
I know you were blown away by the first episode.
It was phenomenal, especially the end of it. It was just that twist at the very end. I'm like, wow, did not see that one coming. But this is door number 1 with a bullet, as you said. And we've brought this show up probably, 5-6 times in the history of this show, maybe more. If you've never seen The Jinx on HBO, it's like the highest stamp of approval that Paulie and I can ever give on a show, right? Wouldn't you agree? For a show that people may not have heard. People may not have heard of it.
That's the best way to say it. Yes.
Yeah, it's a docuseries. It blows your mind how good, and it was happening in real time as Durst was eventually arrested yet again. So it's The Jinx Season 2, and I don't know how they're going to do this. I have no idea how they put it together. I can't wait though, because the first season was as good as anything I've ever watched in my entire life.
Door 1. The NFL adopts the college rule, and pass interference is only 15 yards. Or door 2. Your girlfriend or wife for the next 5 to 10 years will never be late, will always be ready, and there's no, dinner's at 6, I'm not ready, I still, they're always ready to go, never late, yada, yada.
That is your best question of all time. Because in my head right now, I'm picturing myself yelling at Lorraine.
Right. I'm not got the hair done, no.
You said 5:30! It's 5:35. Train's leaving. Let's go already. Just give me 10 more minutes. That's not the way it works. Yeah. And boy, is that true. When you're growing up and you have older brothers who are like, Mitch, get ready for this because they're going to be late and not ready, not prepared every single time. Oh, I had no idea it was going to be like this.
In between stints with Shauna, I was with this one girl. We went out 3 times, and she was late half an hour the first 2 dates. I'm like, and then she was running late the third date. I just sent a limo for her. I was already here. We were having dinner at Barry's. I go, this is ridiculous, because she was working on the trip. I just sent a limo for her. I go, how easy can I make this for you? And she moved to LA. I just sent a limo for her, and it's like, I understand where you're coming from.
I mean, my heart rate is going up right now, as is my blood pressure, thinking about Lorraine being late so often. However,
yes,
I cannot stand the pass interference rule so much, especially if I have a bet that's affected by some stupid 49-yard pass down the field. He had no chance of catching it.
It was innocuous hand fighting, too,
right? Yeah. But it's your ball, first and goal at the 3-yard line. I lose my bet. So which one would I rather have, or do I need to get rid of?
No, you got to select one.
I'd rather put up with Lorraine being late all the time.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's how much I hate the stupid pass interference rule.
Okay. Wow. That is strong.
You?
Yeah. I'll get rid of I adopt the college rule.
Yeah.
I'll put up with the nonsense, even though still you can have a fun ending with it.
Hey, Shauna or the in between gal?
Yes.
Or previous? Do they ever lose things, by the way?
Well, not to your extent.
Oh, this is uncanny. I'm going to go back in my...
Did it happen again?
Oh, you have no idea the things that she has lost. I'll come up with a list sometime and run it down. No hyperbole, no exaggeration. It'll blow your mind. How many things where is it at again? Okay, great. We'll get into the NBA card coming up tonight. There's a lot to like on the schedule here on VSiN.
Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Welcome in. We are live in downtown Las Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. This show is brought to you by DraftKings. And this week, in fact, tomorrow, we have the return of the PGA Tour. Golf is back, baby. It is the Century Tournament going on in Maui, the Plantation Course at Kapalua. And if you've ever watched this thing on TV, you know how beautiful it is. It's must-watch television. Every shot is amazing the way it pops on television. And our good buddy, Indy Jeff Seeley, joins the program now. He's on X at Cutmaker Jeff. The podcast, the Cutmaker podcast, is going to make its return next week. Good morning, pal. How you been?
Hey, fellas, great. I'm coming to you from beautiful Florida. I had the chance to play the Concession yesterday, which is the most difficult golf course in Florida, and it proved to be so yesterday. It was a lot of fun, but looking forward to getting back in the swing of the PGA season here. Very cool.
Well, let's begin with this. And you called this. You were texting both of us a while back saying, I'd love to be able to bet Rahm goes to live. And people weren't buying it. And here you go. He made the move. He's no longer going to be part of tournaments like this. What's your overall take on Rahm going to live? And what have you noticed in terms of the betting market as a result?
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think anyone, I guess certainly I wasn't surprised. And I think really ultimately when the conversations around a merger, if you will, or some sort of merger, or then the muddy merger, was kind of what I call it now. Rahm's was like, look, at some point I'm going to take the money. The money made enough sense, and he took it. But you can clearly see the impact in the betting markets here, right? I mean, we see Scheffler plus 550 and Hovland plus 900 this week. Two guys, Scheffler would probably be 9-1 in that range. And so would Rahm if Rahm were present. Hovland probably be 13 to 14, and a lot of the guys we see at 12 would be moved up. So, I think you can clearly see in the markets because, as we know, it was Scotty Scheffler, Jon Rahm, maybe Rory mixed in there every week, and not having Rahm present, I think, deflates really a lot of the prices on a lot of your top guys in the market.
Okay, so current price is now on the board again. Scheffler at 6, Hovland at 9. I'm guessing that you're going to want to avoid them at those prices. If that is true, then how far do you want to go down the odds board before you want to pick off some of these prices?
Yeah, guys. I mean, we've seen some guys come down. Obviously, Cantlay was 18-1, come down to 12. Mm-hmm. See Cantlay, Morikawa, Homa, all in that 12-1 range. I played Aubert at 16-1. You can still find him at 14-1. And I played him in matchups where I could get plus money against anyone not named Scotty Scheffler. You could find him as high as plus 120 against Morikawa, plus 140 against Cantlay, which I really love, and plus 109 against Homa. His form's incredible, guys. He won the RSM last time out, which was not the strongest of fields, but he shot 61-61 in the final 2 rounds. Like, I don't care who you are or what course you're playing, that's outstanding. Prior to that, he finished 14th at the Wyndham, 2nd at the Sanderson Farms, 13th at the Shriners, 10th at the Worldwide Technology. You can throw 2 Ryder Cup wins in there as well. So, yes, these are swing season events. Yes, they have lesser fields, but Cantlay hasn't played a meaningful tournament outside of the Ryder Cup since August. Xander played in the Zozo, but he was bad there. You can make a case for Morikawa because he won the Zozo, and he has some form. But, again, I get him plus 120 on Aubert there for me. Aubert's gained over 4 strokes tee to green in 9 of his last 11 events dating back to June, and is arguably as good a driver of the golf ball as there is on tour right now. The greens will be slow, putting will be very easy, nullifying perhaps his biggest weaknesses, and in a tournament where you have to make lots of birdies. Remember here, guys, a few years ago, 35 under won this tournament. You have to make lots of birdies. Give me the guy with the highest birdie percentage in the field over the last 24 rounds. That's Aubert.
You mentioned the movement on Cantlay, and Jeff Sherman put me on him. Why you were anti-Cantlay?
honestly, because he hasn't played. I mean, he has not played since August in a meaningful tournament outside the Ryder Cup. So, you give me a guy who's been playing recently and playing well in relevant events against a guy who's, I'm sure Cantlay's been hitting balls and playing with his friends, but he hasn't played anything really of meaning in at least 3 months.
Okay. So I've heard others, and you brought that up. Yeah, people are making the case for Morikawa. I've seen people make the case for Max Homa. Others are making the case for Tom Kim. Do you want to grab either one of those guys on the outrights or any other markets, or do you want to slide down a little bit and get into the range of like 50-1 here in the tournament? Yeah,
guys, no, that's definitely where I want to go, because I think the strategy I'm using is playing guys 50-1 plus. And then I was talking to the caddy on the golf course about this very thing yesterday. He was like, well, how do you bet this? And you take a guy like Eric Cole. I'm on Eric Cole this week. I played Eric Cole half a unit top 20, third of a unit top 10, 0.2 of a unit top 5, and then 1/10 of a unit to win. So Eric Cole this week, if he finishes top 20, we break even. If he finishes top 10, we win 1.5 units and so on. I mentioned Eric Cole. I mentioned birdie or better percentage. Eric Cole's second in the field in the last 24 rounds in birdie or better percentage. His last 5 events, Cole's finished top 5 in 4 of his last 5 events. Yes, these are swing field events, but 4 out of your last 5 events, top 5 is fantastic form, particularly against guys like Cantlay, who I mentioned, who has played very little. We can very easily see another top 10 from Cole this week, despite the strength of the field. And given his form, if he does that, anything else is gravy. JT Poston, very similar to Cole in a lot of ways. I bet him the same way. If he finishes top 20, we book a profit. Poston is 70-1. He's 6th in this field, birdie or better percentage over his last 24 rounds. Has an impressive run the last 6 months where he has 5 top 10s in his last 9 events. He's 2nd on the field in approach and 12th in putting, and has gained at least 3 shots on putting and approach in 4 of his last 7 events. Form is great. Price is there. I like JT Poston as well at 70-1. Okay, there's another guy on the board that we haven't talked about yet, and it's Follow the Money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Our guest, Indy Jeff Seeley. You can follow him on X. He's at CutmakerJeff. And you've given this guy out in the past. He has won in the past when you've done so. I want to say, Jeff, Sepp Straka was as high as 90-1 when you gave him out as a winner. Is that in the ballpark of what he was at? And you like him again this week? Yeah, and guys, I bet him he's 300-1 to win the Masters. I mean, I bet him the Waste Management at 120-1. And I still contend Sepp Straka is the most underrated player on the PGA Tour. He's 60-1 this week, but in his last 50 events, Straka has 2 wins. He has 5 top 5s and 3 more top 10s. I mean, how many players on tour have 2 wins in their last 50 events? Very few. He was a Ryder Cup team a team member on the European team that won. He has a 20% top 10 rate in his last 50 tournaments. He is. I think Sepp Straka is. He's a Georgia guy. The vein of Kisner and Henley, and we all know all the great Georgia golfers. He's a guy I know that can go low, and at 60-1 this week, I think this price warrants an investment. And frankly, anytime you see Sepp Straka at 60-1 or higher, he's definitely a play for sure. Top 20. Like we just saw him at the Hero World Challenge. He just took 2nd. That field was absolutely loaded, and Straka took 2nd. This is a guy who's gaining confidence every week. I still contend is super underrated, and at like 300-1 to win the Masters, you put $20 on it or something. Over 100-1 at the Waste Management coming up. I love him at that opportunity. Again, I think Sepp Straka is continuously underrated. We're going to continue to bet him, and we're going to continue to profit. What's the lowest that you would go for him to finish top 20? Because I'm seeing a big-time difference in the market. I see as high as plus 165 and as low as plus 130 to finish top 20. Yeah, I would say plus 140 or so. So I think is a fair number. Yeah, you shop around to find that plus 140 or better. I'd take it. And yeah, he could. Yeah, but keep in mind, this is a no-cut event too. So Straka's a guy who literally always has at least one really good round in him. And so he's a guy, frankly, if he struggles after the first round and you can get him, say, 3-1 top 20 or something, I would add more. Because I know I can trust Sepp Straka, especially on a course that's gettable, to get hot and shoot a 61 one round or something. I just trust him to do that. I think he'll be in the conversation. and certainly top 20 by the time it's all said and done.
Very good. And your biggest matchups then this week would be the ones that you mentioned with Aubert going against those plus prices against the golfers that are on the board?
That's exactly right, guys.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm either going to be completely right or completely wrong, but I feel good about the spot. Morikawa is the only guy I worry about a little bit, but I really like him at plus money against those matchups, other than Scheffler.
Oh, man, it's so good to have it back. I love betting on the sport. Love talking to you, man. Thanks so much. Happy New Year. We appreciate it.
Thanks, fellas. You too. Take care.
There you go. He's on X at Cupmaker Jeff. Very excited to have golf back.
Yeah. Great with Thursday, Friday. I played Cantley. That's about it. What else? Did you anything else?
That's the guy that I landed on.
Cantley,
I got him at
okay.
16-1.
Yeah, all right.
So I'm probably going to add some of the stuff that he just broke down right now for sure. I mean, he had excellent analysis on that. And the Straka stuff, too. I mean, the guy's been on him a lot. And when he gives him out and he's adamant about this, he hits at 90-1. He's like, oh, what am I missing here? Why am I higher on this guy than like everybody else? And he's a proven winner, and he consistently finishes like really well in these tournaments. Mm-hmm. So that's my one of my New Year's resolutions is to bet even more golf this year. Every tournament for sure.
Well, the markets are incredible.
But definitely
offered.
And now here in Las Vegas, we're starting to catch up to where we can get the top fives, the first round leaders every single tournament, the top tens. There was a long time where it wasn't available, but now with all that stuff on the betting board here in town, absolutely going to be on board with this sport. So, all right, let's follow the money here on VSiN. We're on X at VSiN Live, at Mitch Moss Radio, at Paulie Howard. We have a lot to get into in the final 50 minutes of the show today. We'll get into Lions-Vikings coming up in about 20 minutes. Ben Raven covers the Detroit Lions. Question for him about Campbell coming out and saying what he did this week. High octane, controlled fury. They're going to play his starters. But yet money all week long now on, specifically like yesterday into this morning on the Vikings, down to 3 here with Detroit. So that's coming up in about 20, and Paulie's going to recap last night's betting action, including the biggest upset of the season so far in the NBA in win some, lose some. That's straight ahead.
Last night? Wow, winning. Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser! Paulie Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
Hell of a run for favorites in the NHL. Last night in hockey, favorites went 9-4. Saturday, they went 8-1. Sunday, they went 8-0. Sick run for favorites in the NHL, though Montreal did upset Dallas last night, plus 240. And there has been, I got to do a better job with this, there have been 2 ATM bets for about a month in the NHL. It's Ottawa on the road and Dallas at home. Goal in the first 10. Ottawa, 13 in a row on the road, yes. And it took 2 minutes last night in Vancouver, which was 5-0 at the end of the first period, by the way. Hurricanes 12 of 13, and the Dallas Stars 9 of 10 at home. First period over, goal in the first 10, everything with Dallas.
Dallas Stars are excellent and have been now for a long time at going over 1.5 goals in the first period.
Yeah. Happened again last night. That was 2-1 at the end of the first period. They scored, I think, 2 minutes into the game. And Jonathan Davis does a great job following the NHL. He always tweets. Just check him out on Twitter. The Winnipeg Jets have held their opponents under their team total of 2.5. 13 of 14 and 18 of 21. Wow. Great job by the Jets. And Mitch mentioned it, the biggest upset last night of the NBA season. The Hornets were catching 15.5 in Sacramento and won. 8-1 on the money line. Subscribe, be part of the team, VSiN.com. Our radio and podcast friends, you always want to see these tweets and videos. Let's go to the suburbs. The brand new Durango Resort. A gal was playing Super Hot Roll. You ever play it?
I have not.
Okay. It's similar to Ultimate X.
Is it fun?
But it's like it can be like this.
Yeah, right. You have to have one of these.
when they deal you the cards with your video poker hand, they'll roll the dice. and it could come out and you get a multiplier. And here the gal got a royal 9 times for 50 cents. She won $18,000 on a $15 bet. There it is. You see it on the bottom. She held 30 the royal, and she got it. And you see the multiplier there in the bottom left as it's super hot roll. There you go. They got it all. I love this. This is so good.
This is just what I did not need to know this information.
Okay. All right. This is so good. These dog videos every day. And oh, boy, look at this guy. And the award goes to
another Oscar nominee.
He keeps doing it, right? Trying to get the nail trim. Oh, and then down. No, look at is that a dog or a cat? Is that a cat in the back? Or just like, I don't believe this.
Is this
surreal.
a loop or is this like 3 or 4 times?
No, it keeps doing it, right? Let's go again. And, no. No, I can't. I got it. She's trying to trim his nails, and every time back down. No, I can't take it. No, I'm fainting. No, you're not. Oh, the pain. Oh, I can't. Over and over and over again. And I think it's a cat in the background, but he doesn't know what to make.
No, it doesn't even.
Sure, it's like, give me a break, will you? Who is this, Meryl Streep here? Bobby De Niro? That's unbelievable. Great video, and the award goes to, look at this. Thanks to the people that sent this in yesterday. The owner goes into the porta potty, and he's fishing. And there's the arrow showing the fish. And the dog here's like, oh, wait a second, I got something. And he sees the fish, and he's got the fish on the line. So then the dog runs over and trying to tell the owner, hey, where'd you go?
I got hurry up.
Yeah, I got something here. And he's looking, he's like, yeah, I got the fish here on the pole. And he's trying to reel it in.
The pole's like falling in the water.
Right, and look at the dog. He grabs the fishing rod, pole, whatever, and then he's trying to grab, look at him. He grabs it here, eventually puts it in its mouth, and he's great. Let me get this fish in here. And he's trying to, the dog catches a fish.
And the guy comes out of the porta potty. Imagine his surprise.
Right. And look at the dog continues to pull on it, but I got something here, right? Like, come on, buddy. I got a fish. I got lunch.
Comes running out. He's like, wait, you got the pole?
Oh, that is so good.
The only thing more impressive would have been, I got a little disappointed. The dog should have reeled it in.
Right. But how smart, right? He knew what was going on the whole time. Hey, I got something here. Come on, little help.
I love dogs so much.
Man. Yep. Look at this. Who knew? The take flight with the great white. Oh! They can leap out of water at 25 miles per hour. And look at this video coming up here where he's coming in where he wants some snack and wants some food. Oh, wow. You're going to need a bigger boat.
No kidding.
That is Jaws.
What an impressive video.
What is that, a 360, 180 coming in? What, all the way down to grab? Wow. Oh, never stops. One, lose some. You called this. I can't believe it. Billboards all over Detroit yesterday. Decker reported and crossing it out with the wins that saying, hey, we should have won that game. The officials robbed us. Brad Allen is on the Ravens-Steelers game. And the NFL came out and sent video to all the teams around the league saying, work on your communication. Here's the right way or the best way so there's no confusion on how.
They sent out a video that was 1:45 with instructions to all the teams, and the media got.
Yeah.
It was leaked to the media. They sent it out. I told you, they're Teflon. Nothing affects them.
It's Walt Anderson on the video, too.
What did I say on Monday?
Official. I mean, they are blaming the Lions.
Yes, they are. They're doubling down on everything.
And Brad Allen completely lied, butchered his job. You know, there's also a report from the NFL Network that Dan Campbell pulled Brad Allen aside before the game. Not just Brad Allen. And said, here's what we're going to do. It is unbelievable that the league is doing this and siding with Brad Allen and blame, like John Perry did. Ridiculous. Yep. And blaming the Lions and siding with Brad Allen for the debacles.
Paul, there is absolutely zero accountability for this. So I hope Brad Allen just goes sideways for him again on Saturday.
Yeah. Why wouldn't it? It's just continue.
Yep, sure.
Primetime games, standalone games have been a disaster.
The missed PI on Scantling was enough. Nope, not for the league. Now this is 100 times worse. No, He's going to be on another game, and you know what? The lines were wrong. Here's the memo, teams across the league. Clean it up.
All right, championship game on Monday. I saw Nick Bogdanovich on with Matt Humans. He makes the game pick 'em. He likes the dog, and Washington continues to win games when they're underdogs. Become a VSiN Pro subscriber. Intro offer $9.99. Get every play, every host, every guest, and the betting splits let you see where the money and bets are moving every game, and get the preview for the national title game. VSiN.com/subscribe. Sign up $9.99. Become part of the team. VSiN.com/subscribe. There you go. Great job, guys. Thank you.
You see the story where there was a small plane stolen from a North Las Vegas airport. It landed in the desert near Barstow, California, which, for those of you who don't know where Barstow is, it is in the middle of absolutely nowhere when you're driving from Las Vegas.
It's where the drugs take hold.
To Los Angeles, that's exactly right, or vice versa. The guy, there was a series of burglaries in 1 week, and the guy around Christmas time, they think is the same cult. He's 40 years old. When they got the plane, there was a half a joint and a bunch of like empty beer cans and bottles in the plane. So this guy was breaking into wherever this plane was at, into this plane and other like planes. I don't know if it was in a hangar. It could not have been. It must have been out like in a field somewhere.
And they just took off?
And he got in the plane, was drinking evidently, and beyond that, flew it to Barstow, landed in the desert.
Oh, my God.
Now, I've heard of a lot of crazy things happening when you've had... What?
What's the plan? How do you get home? I mean, that was...
Well,
amazing when the buzz wore off, too.
Imagine when he lands.
What have I done?
Yeah, where am I at? What happened? We'll wake up from that one?
I didn't think this through.
Boy, oh boy.
I've done a lot of stupid stuff, but I never felt like, hey, I'm drunk. I'm going to go get a plane.
Here's an idea.
Yeah.
Like, what level of intoxicated are you when you actually make that decision, break in, and then you take... How about... Is he a former pilot? How many people know how to hop into a plane after breaking in and, I'll fly this for an hour or two? The guy has to know what he's doing a little bit. A rogue pilot.
We're on a bad run here. What's going on in this city? Between F1 and shootings and everything else out of control. You see the Minnie Mouse guy? You know, the characters, they dress up on the strip. They do this a lot in Hollywood, too. But the people, you know, it's like, hey, take a picture with me. I'm Chucky, or I'm Mickey Mouse, I'm Minnie Mouse. The guy was having a smoke break, and he had the hat off. And the kids are walking by. He's got the outfit on, but he had the hat off, right? So he's sitting there, just some old regular guy, right? And he's like, I thought you were Minnie Mouse. Oh, is there the picture? Is this the plane?
That's the plane right there.
It was. Oh, good find. They have it ready to go? Oh, man.
Landed it in the middle of the desert near Barstow. Who can do that? Look at this stuff.
Oh,
and
there
they're
it is.
Inside, empty Modelo cans.
I got a can of Coke, right? Wash it down, right?
Yeah.
Little chaser. Oh, bananas.
That's remarkable.
Oh. Stunning stuff.
I'll tell you, what movie comes to mind is Midnight Run.
Yeah.
When, was it Charles Grodin jumps in the plane? He knows it, and Robert De Niro's tracking him down.
I'm glad you brought it up. Remember DiCaprio?
What a movie.
What's
Catch Me If You Can.
No.
Right? No? Okay.
No, Wolf of Wall Street, when he takes the Quaaludes.
Wow.
When they hit him with the Lambo. I didn't drive. Hey, did you drive last night? No. Oh, and then he tried to get home. He had to crawl in the Lamborghini.
Yeah.
DiCaprio got hurt. They only filmed one scene. He got hurt doing that, crawling.
Right. That's right.
Oh, no, the Quaaludes got me. And then he has to get home somehow because they got him on ice. Oh, that movie is so good. That movie is 3 hours of bedlam and pandemonium.
So if Campbell's going to play starters, why the line move against the Lions yesterday?